At exactly 4:44 a.m., your family's oldest secret will try to resurface, but the date angels say only you can break the cycle. Don't skip this. There is a sacred whisper echoing in the realm of spirit, a whisper wrapped in the mystery of time, carrying the weight of generations. It arrives not by chance, not by happenstance, but by divine orchestration. And it begins at exactly 4:44 a.m. This hour is no ordinary hour. It is not one chosen by the patterns of man, nor by the ticking of human clocks. It is marked in the heavens, carved into the fabric of eternity, a moment when the veil thins and the voice of the divine breaks through. The number 444, triple in its form, speaks of angelic presence, divine order, and heavenly alignment. It is the trumpet call of angelic armies. It is the signature of divine surveillance, and it is the time heaven calls your name. Archangel Michael, guardian of the heavenly host, stands now at the threshold of your ancestral gate. He does not come for all. He comes only for the appointed. He does not sound the alarm for the many. He lifts his sword only for the chosen. And today, that chosen one is you. You have felt it, haven't you? That lingering discomfort when the night grows still. That rising pressure in your chest before the first light dawns. That uncanny urge to awaken at the same haunting time, 4:44 a.m. This is no accident. It is the fingerprint of the divine upon your destiny. It is your spirit answering to a call older than your birth, older than your name, older than your bloodline. For a cycle has turned, and the echo of a secret, once buried deep beneath layers of silence and shame, is now rising again to the surface. It has knocked before. It has whispered through dreams, rattled through family tales, flickered through the eyes of elders who never spoke it. But now it has chosen you to listen, to face, to break. Be still. Be silent. Be surrendered. The spirit does not shout. It arrives in the hush between heartbeats. If you rush, you will miss it. If you doubt, it will pass. But if you listen, if you lean in, if you believe, the heavens will open before you. And what once was hidden shall be revealed. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. You are not here by accident. The angels interrupted this hour. You are not here by accident. This is not a coincidence. This is not simply another message scrolling past your eyes. This is divine intersection. This is the celestial realm breaking protocol to reach you. This is heaven interrupting your routine to remind you. You were called into this moment. You didn't stumble here. Your soul has been gravitating to this alignment, wakened by an invisible force, stirred at strange hours, especially at 4:44 a.m. And now, this moment is sacred. This very breath you take now is holy ground. Archangel Michael stands before you, his sword ablaze with truth, his voice slicing through the shadows that have silenced your spirit. This is not a dream. This is not imagination. This is your appointment in eternity, and time is catching up to prophecy. You've noticed the strange waking, the uneasy sleep, the moments when you jolt awake without understanding why. The clock mocking your confusion, always 4:44 a.m. This number is not your enemy. It is your divine confirmation. The hosts of heaven are trying to reach you. You were summoned. And now, you are being spoken to. You've carried a weight that was never yours. You've absorbed silence that belonged to generations before you. You felt emotions with no name, burdens with no story, grief with no clear source. And still, you stood. Still, you survived. Still, you woke up at the appointed time, not even knowing you were being drawn into divine alignment. The Spirit of God is now upon you, not in a distant way, not in a religious ritual, but now, in this very moment, as these words reach your spirit, you are being wrapped in a mantle of light. A surge of truth is cracking the foundations of generational deception. You are the interruption your lineage have been waiting for. You feel it. That trembling in your chest is not fear. It is recognition. Your soul knows this message. Your soul remembers. Your soul has heard the voice of Michael before, in the womb of eternity, when your assignment was first whispered into existence. And now, that assignment is being activated. Be warned. This is a spiritual announcement, not entertainment. This is sacred technology, not social media fodder. This is the moment your bloodline shifts and heaven leans in. You are surrounded now. The angels are encamped. The presence of God is thickening. You were born for this disruption. The angels didn't interrupt this hour for noise. They interrupted it for you. So open your spiritual ears. Hear the wind behind these words. Hear the silence screaming between each syllable. You are not just being inspired. You are being instructed. This is a divine commissioning. You are being called not just to listen, but to act. Not just to weep, but to war. Not just to awaken, but to arise. You are surrounded now by light, even if your room feels dim. The archangels are standing by, even if you feel alone. The heavens are roaring your name in languages you do not know. But your spirit does. And it is time. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. Someone in the bloodline buried this secret in fear. You've wondered why the silence in your family feels loud. You've questioned why certain topics are avoided, why certain names bring discomfort, why certain years in your family history are marked by blurred photographs and broken memories. But you know now, you've always known, something has been buried. Not just information, not just a mistake, but a secret, sacred, painful, forbidden. It was buried in fear, not to protect others, but to protect a legacy built on silence. A secret older than you, older than your parents, older than your grandparents. It was entombed beneath layers of shame and generational denial, and now, at exactly 4:44 a.m., it is trying to resurface. You have felt it. The emotional echoes, the phantom weight, the moments of weeping that came without reason, the strange tension at family gatherings, the unease in conversations that shift away when truth creeps too close. You've seen a name reappear in dreams, but it fades when you awaken. You've stumbled on an old photo, a letter, a comment whispered and quickly retracted. Your soul trembles when you pass by certain locations. Your spirit reacts to sounds, scents, and dates you cannot explain. That is not imagination. That is spiritual memory. You are feeling the residue of what was never spoken, because you are the one chosen to speak it. You were the only one born sensitive enough to feel it, strong enough to carry it, brave enough to confront it. You are the one that heaven trusted with this secret. Because while others inherited possessions, you inherited spiritual responsibility. This is not a coincidence. This is covenant. The reason you are unsettled is because the truth is unsettled. The spirit of the secret is restless because it knows its time is up. But the enemy would rather keep it buried, for silence sustains the curse. Denial keeps the cycle alive. And if you ignore it, it will not die. It will pass on. But if you confront it, if you allow the Spirit to show you what others feared, if you dare to speak what was never allowed to be spoken, healing will begin. Not just for you, but for everyone connected to your name. This is why your emotions have been erratic. This is why your dreams have been intense. This is why you felt like something is off, but couldn't articulate it. It's not just emotional. It's ancestral. And the key to its unlocking is your obedience. What once was hidden is about to be exposed. And what once caused shame is about to set generations free. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I receive freedom" in the comments if this message is for you. Blessing code 7777 is now flowing through your bloodline. This is not just history, it's a generational spirit. Do not be deceived. What you are facing is not just a family story. It is not just an old wound, not just a mistake lost in time, not just history waiting to be forgotten. No, beloved, it is a spirit, a spiritual pattern that has disguised itself as legacy, one that has twisted itself through generations like a serpent through soil. What you feel stirring now is not merely memory, it is warfare. It is not nostalgia, it is bondage. What you are up against has a name in the spirit, and its roots go deeper than you've ever dared to trace. This is not simply emotional, it is ancestral warfare. This spirit has attached itself to bloodlines, cloaked itself in secrecy, and woven itself into behaviors and beliefs so deeply that most of your family has accepted its presence as normal. Confusion, fear, isolation, shame, untimely deaths, repeated losses, failed relationships, all were symptoms of a deeper infection, a generational curse disguised as heritage. But hear this now, you are not like them. You are not blind to the pattern. You are not numb to the pain. You are not passive in the presence of this spirit. You were sent as a disruption. You are the one who saw what others ignored, who felt what others buried, who questioned what others accepted. And that is not a burden. It is a divine assignment. You have been chosen to be the breaker of the bond. You are not just a member of the bloodline. You are the weapon sent to redeem it. You are the Moses of your family. You are the Esther for your generation. You are the David standing in front of Goliath, not with physical strength, but with divine authorization. Heaven is watching how you respond. The Spirit is recording your choices in the scroll of destiny. The pain you feel is not punishment, it is the pressure of purpose. The tears you cry are not signs of weakness. They are scrolls being written in heaven. You are being watched not by critics, but by the cloud of witnesses who know that if you rise, everything shifts. The enemy knows this. That is why confusion hits you before clarity comes. That is why fatigue strikes every time you attempt to pray. That is why division increases when healing is near. Because the enemy senses that his time is short, and your awareness is growing. But you are not alone. You are not outmatched. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. The angelic host surrounds your dwelling. And your authority is not in what you know, but in who has sent you. You are not fighting history. You are confronting a stronghold. And your obedience will turn ancestral pain into generational purpose. The secret was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. You were never meant to repeat it. You were born to redeem it. Type "I am the breaker" in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 3030 is igniting your spiritual inheritance. At 4:44 a.m., something spiritual awakens, and it watches. The hour is not random. 4:44 a.m. is the hour of surveillance, the moment when the veil between realms is thinnest, and what has been sleeping in silence begins to stir. You think it's just insomnia. No. You think it's just restlessness. Absolutely not. It is spiritual awakening, divine confrontation, ancestral reckoning, and it watches. There is something ancient that awakens at 4:44 a.m. It watches for who will notice. It waits to see who will dismiss the nudging and return to slumber. And it observes who will rise, who will listen, who will respond. Heaven has scheduled a moment in the spirit realm, and your name is on that calendar. You were not supposed to sleep through this shift. Many have already ignored it. The secret has knocked before. Others heard it but silenced it. Others saw the signs but closed their eyes. Others sensed the unease but buried it in distraction. And so the cycle survived. The curse continued. The pattern repeated. But now, heaven says, enough. The cycle ends with you, or it continues through those after you. You may soon receive a phone call from someone you haven't spoken to in years. You may stumble upon a photo that breaks you open. You may discover an item, a journal, a letter, a locked drawer, an old family Bible that contains more than memories. It contains truth. Don't brush it off. Don't ignore the signs. For if you turn away now, the weight will not vanish. It will be inherited. And your children, your siblings, your future generations will be the ones wrestling what was always meant for you to confront. But if you say yes, if you rise in the early morning and answer the spirit that knocks, a chain reaction of divine healing will begin. Do not let fear silence you. Do not let the comfort of routine steal your appointment. Do not underestimate what a single yes can do in the spirit. One act of obedience at 4:44 a.m. can rewrite the story of an entire bloodline. But the window is narrow. This is a Kairos moment, divine timing intersecting with human decision. The clock is ticking, and the spirit is watching. If you feel the stirring, if your soul trembles at this message, if your heart beats faster, you are being summoned. At 4:44 a.m. rise. Be still. Listen. Speak aloud. I break the silence. I release the truth. I rise now. Heaven will hear. Angels will move. And the curse will break. Type I break the cycle in the comments if you accept this calling. Blessing code 888 is rushing toward you with generational restoration. Be still. Don't ask others for permission to believe. The moment you begin to awaken, the enemy begins to whisper. Doubt will be his first weapon. Distraction will be his second. And the voices of others, even those closest to you, will be subtly used to divert your focus. But hear this clearly, beloved of light. This is not the hour to seek permission from man. This is the hour to receive instruction from heaven. What is being birthed in you cannot be validated by those who have never walked in your shoes. This awakening is not communal. It is covenantal. And covenant requires consecration. Be still. Not just in body, but in soul. Still your need to explain. Still your urge to convince. Still your hunger to be understood. This move of God is not up for debate. You don't need approval to follow divine alignment. You need silence. You need solitude. You need sacred stillness. Heaven is not speaking through noise. Heaven is speaking through the whisper, the wind, the soft impression that lands upon your spirit in the quiet moments. This is why your stillness is not passive, it is a weapon. It confuses the enemy. It amplifies divine signals. It guards your inner court from infiltration. Now is the time to light a candle, not for ceremony, but for clarity. Let that flame become your signal to heaven that you are ready. Let your space be transformed into an altar, not with incense and rituals, but with expectancy and surrender. Posture yourself with your palms open, eyes closed, heart lifted, not to receive a show, but to receive strategy. Pray with no agenda. Speak with no fear. Declare with no hesitation. Let your spirit say, "Here I am, Lord. I am listening." And you will be surprised at how loudly heaven responds in the quiet. You are protected. No harm, no hex, no whisper from hell can infiltrate what heaven has sealed. Archangel Michael stands guard, not metaphorically, but spiritually. His sword flashes with fire, cutting through interference, shielding your ears, purifying your dreams. The angels assigned to your lineage are now reactivated. You are surrounded. You are secure. You are being hidden under the shadow of the Almighty while the transformation begins. Others may think you are being distant. Let them. Others may not understand your quiet. Let them misunderstand. Because while they scroll, while they sleep, while they talk, you are breaking through. You are shifting atmospheres. You are moving mountains without speaking a word. Your silence is sacred. Your stillness is strategic. Don't trade it for validation. Don't waste it on arguments. This is a fragile moment, and it demands your full awareness. Heaven is whispering blueprints. Listen for them. Spirit is releasing named places, instructions, sometimes in dreams, sometimes through signs, sometimes in a sudden knowing. Journal them. Speak them aloud in prayer. Obey without delay. This is not the time for procrastination. It is the time for precision. You may feel lonely in this path, but you are not alone. The cloud of witnesses surrounds you. The spirits of your ancestors, those who suffered in silence, are now rejoicing in your obedience. For you are doing what they could not do. You are saying yes to what they were too afraid to face. Be still, chosen one. The heavens are writing, and the silence you honor now is making eternal noise in the spirit. Type "I choose stillness" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 2244 is covering your path. You are the one your ancestors prayed would rise. You were never ordinary. Even as a child, you noticed things others didn't. You asked questions others feared to ask. You felt burdens no one explained. You carried peace into chaos. You carried light into silence. You were misunderstood, misnamed, mishandled, but never misassigned. Because heaven had already placed a mark on you, the mark of the breaker, the builder, the chosen one. You are the answer to ancestral prayers. The tears your ancestors wept in desperation, the silent cries they poured out while bound by silence, poverty, abuse, confusion, those cries became seeds in eternity. And you, beloved, are the harvest. You are the result of every whispered plea for freedom. You are the warrior wrapped in a gentle spirit, the light that darkness cannot decode, the fire that does not burn out. You have survived storms that should have drowned you. You've stood in places others collapsed. You've carried weights that would have crushed generations before you. And still, you rise. That is not coincidence. That is evidence. Evidence of your anointing. Evidence of your assignment. Evidence that your lineage is about to shift, not by might, not by tradition, but by your obedience. This is not just about you anymore. This is about the children who will grow up without the curses you carried. This is about the marriages that will flourish because you broke the cycle of abandonment. This is about the families who will finally know joy, truth, and peace because you dared to confront what others only endured. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through. Now is the time to wake up, not physically, but spiritually. Rise from the spiritual sleep that kept you numb. Tear off the labels placed on you by others. Stop identifying with the pain and start identifying with the promise. You were born for this hour. You were made for this war. You were selected by heaven to be the shift your bloodline needs. Stop asking, why me? Start declaring, why not me? You are equipped. You are anointed. You are surrounded. You are rising. This is not your destruction. This is your deliverance. When you move, the earth notices. When you speak, the spirit realm shifts. When you obey, the heavens open. Every act of courage you make echoes backwards through time, healing the wounds of ancestors and planting the seeds of legacy for descendants. You are a threshold, a bridge, a gate. And today, you walk through it with power. If this word confirms what your spirit has been sensing, and you feel called to support this mission, consider sowing a super thanks gift of $50. Every offering helps us create more content to awaken the chosen and ignite the called. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am the rising one in the comments if you accept your call. Blessing code 1717 is surrounding your journey. This resurfacing is not punishment. It's prophecy fulfilled. Let this truth be etched upon your soul. What is rising now is not here to destroy you. What is resurfacing is not sent to punish, condemn, or torment. No, beloved, this moment, this stirring, this revelation, this ancestral tremor, is the fulfillment of prophecy. What once was buried in darkness is rising now in light. What once brought confusion and pain is rising now to unlock healing, clarity, and power. Heaven has waited for this. The angels have prepared for this. The scrolls have recorded this moment. And now, you are walking into it. Hear this and let it thunder in your spirit. The secret did not stay hidden because it was too dark. It stayed hidden because the time was not yet. The weight of the truth was too much for generations before you. They weren't weak. They simply weren't the appointed ones. The time had not yet matured. The scrolls were not yet opened. But now, heaven has declared, the chosen one is ready. The angels have surrounded your name on heaven's parchment, and the time has come to fulfill what was foretold. This resurfacing is not your breaking, it is your birthing. There are names written in the bloodline that no one speaks of, but heaven knows them. There are stories that were whispered only in fear, but heaven heard them. And there are angels assigned to your family line that have been dormant, waiting for someone to carry enough courage, enough conviction, enough obedience to stir them into motion. That someone is you. You are the prophecy in motion. You are the living redemption story. You are the voice for the voiceless, the sight for the blind in your lineage. And the truth rising now is rising because you are strong enough to carry it, name it, and transform it. This secret is not a curse anymore. Under your authority, under your surrendered spirit, it is now a key that opens spiritual gates, a key that unlocks blessings held back for generations. What once brought shame will now become testimony. What once brought silence will now become legacy. You are rewriting the spiritual narrative, and the heavens are watching. Don't be afraid of what is coming up. Don't run from what your dreams begin to reveal. Don't silence your intuition when it trembles. Lean in. The Spirit is giving you pieces of the puzzle, and each piece is divine strategy. And when your spirit is tempted to cry, why now? Let it be answered in full, because you are the prophecy your ancestors never got to see. By prophecy fulfilled in the comments if this speaks to you. Lesson code 4444 is now being activated over your life. Declare, it ends with me. It begins with me. Speak it now. Not later. Not in your head. Not in timid whispers. Speak it with fire. It ends with me. It begins with me. This is more than a declaration. It is a spiritual command, a kingdom decree, a prophetic hammer crashing against ancient chains. When you say it, you are not just speaking to the atmosphere, you are speaking into generations. Forward, backward, across time, across spirit, across dimensions. This is your activation. Everything is about to shift, and the shift begins with a decision. Not an emotion, not a feeling, a decision. Heaven does not respond to hesitation. It responds to obedience. Your yes is the divine password that unlocks scrolls, summons angels, and causes heaven to move. Now is the time to do something tangible. Now is the time to move in faith. Write down what you've uncovered, the name, the moment, the weight, the memory. And then, in a sacred act of closure, burn it in faith. Let the fire symbolize the release. Let the smoke be your incense rising into the courts of heaven. You are not just destroying paper. You are dismantling darkness. And as you do this, expect divine responses. Expect dreams to increase in clarity. Expect angelic signs in numbers, nature, and names. Expect to feel lighter. Expect doors to open. For what was bound is now loosed. What was locked is now undone. You are not imagining it. You are initiating it. Heaven responds to earthly obedience. When you move in faith, the realms move with you. The spiritual terrain is shaped not by good intentions, but by holy action. Now is your time to move with intention. Every step you take, every prayer, every tear, every journal entry, every confrontation with truth, is echoing backwards through time. Yes, backwards. Into the DNA of your ancestors. Into the spiritual void where trauma once lived. Your obedience is healing your lineage. It is resurrecting hope. It is redeeming names. It is restoring what was never given. You are not a victim of inheritance. You are a vehicle of deliverance. Don't underestimate the spiritual authority that now rests upon you. You carry it not because you earned it, but because you were ordained for it. You carry it not to boast, but to break. Not to be famous, but to be faithful. Let your voice thunder through generations. Let your yes echo like a trumpet. Let your feet move in courage. You are not asking for change, you are the change. You are not praying for a breaker. You are the breaker. You are not hoping for an answer. You are the answer. What was impossible before you has now become possible through you. If you believe this word has ignited your spirit, and you feel led to support the release of more prophetic messages like this, sow a super thanks offering of $10. Your seed helps us keep this message alive for the ones still waiting to wake up. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I activate my destiny" in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 1177 is charging your atmosphere. As you sleep, angels trade sorrow for strategy. There is a realm that does not slumber. There is a place beyond time, beyond space, where every breath, every tear, every hidden pain is recorded. While you rest, while you sleep, even when you are unaware, heaven is not. The spirit never sleeps. And as you lie in your bed, trying to make sense of what you feel, the angels begin the silent exchange. In the stillness of night, when your body is at its weakest and your spirit is most vulnerable, divine transactions take place. This is not just rest. This is recalibration. This is not merely dreaming. This is download. Sorrow is being exchanged for strategy. Tears are being turned into templates. Brokenness is being coded into blueprints. And the heavens are releasing assignments under the cloak of night. You thought your weeping was wasted. No. You thought your dreams were fragments of fatigue. No. What has been happening while you sleep is far more sacred than you've known. Your dreams are scrolls being unsealed. Your weeping is a language the angels interpret. Your groaning is an intercession heaven has already answered. The Spirit is bartering on your behalf. Sorrow for strategy, ashes for fire, heaviness for the garment of praise. Each night you awaken at 4:44 a.m. is not random. It is a meeting. It is the Spirit's signal that you have been summoned for exchange. Get up. Speak in tongues. Whisper your pain. Declare your hunger. And wait. For in those moments, there is activity in the unseen. Divine messengers trading bondage for blueprints. Your spirit is being handed keys. Keys that unlock gates you never built. Keys that open rooms your ancestors never dared enter. You are receiving what others were too broken to carry. You are hearing what others were too wounded to perceive. And in this silence, something greater is happening. Ancestral chains are being swapped for generational blessings. You do not see it, but the chains are cracking. The curses are crumbling. The angels are carrying what your ancestors couldn't finish, and they are placing the assignment in your hands. You thought you were tired, but you were actually in transition. You thought you were under attack, but you were in activation. You thought you were confused, but the noise was just the enemy panicking, because he knows you are awakening. Here is a gate opening. It's not physical. It's spiritual. And it only opens for those who are silent enough to feel it, surrendered enough to enter, and bold enough to walk through. Let the tears fall. They are scrolls. Let the sighs come. They are signals. Heaven reads each one aloud. You are not forgotten. You are not just healing. You are being equipped. This secret, this ancient pain, is not a tomb anymore. It is a gate. And as it opens, everything behind it must shift. Everything in front of it must align. The old will not rule your future. The forgotten will now be fulfilled. You were born to finish what was never started. Type I receive the exchange in the comments if this message is yours. Blessing code 6464 is releasing divine blueprints now. What was stolen through silence will be returned in truth. Heaven is a courtroom. The judge is not blind. The scrolls have been opened, and the balance of justice is now tipping in your favor. What was taken through manipulation, what was lost through silence, what was robbed through fear will now be returned by revelation. The Spirit is bringing spiritual justice, and with it comes divine reversal. You must understand, God did not forget. Heaven did not overlook injustice. What was done in secret, the betrayal, the abuse, the suppression, The manipulation was not hidden from the eyes of the Most High. It was recorded. It was remembered. And now, the divine gavel has struck. The case is being reopened. The sentence is being reversed. The verdict is being rendered. You are the redeemer of the family line. But this justice is not about vengeance. No, this justice is about reversal. This is not about revenge. It is about restoration. This is not about proving others wrong. It's about proving the Spirit faithful. The truth is not rising to shame anyone. It is rising to heal everyone willing to receive it. God's scales are active now. And as they weigh the pain, the silence, the prayers, the trauma, they are also weighing your courage, your tears, your yes. And heaven has found in you a righteous remnant. You are the reason justice will not be delayed any longer. Expect reversals. Expect finances to shift. Expect favor to find you. Expect inheritances that were blocked to be released. Expect names to be cleared. Expect gifts long dormant to wake up suddenly. Expect dreams to guide you, people to return with truth, and doors to swing open without explanation. This reversal is spiritual, emotional, relational, even physical. Where there was sickness, healing will come. Where there was barrenness, fruitfulness will explode. Where there was absence, presence will enter. Where there was loss, divine recompense shall flow. Because God has marked your name. Not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. You said yes when others ran. You leaned in when others pulled away. You prayed when others mocked. You stood still when storms roared. You obeyed, and now, the reversal has begun. Justice is not coming. Justice is here. Reversal is not delayed. It is active now. The curse hath been identified. The cycle has been named. The silence has been broken. And now, the reversal will ripple through every corner of your lineage. Your children's children will feel the effects of what you broke today. Do not doubt it. Heaven is restoring what you thought was lost forever. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if this word confirms your spirit. Blessing code 9999 is now enforcing heaven's justice over your life. The hour of truth is holy. Do not fear. This is not an ending. This is your beginning. The hour of truth, 4:44 a.m., is now marked upon your spiritual record. Not with fear, not with anxiety, but with divine certainty. You have stood at the edge of ancestral silence and chosen to speak. You have looked into the void of generational pain and chosen to feel. You have touched the ancient chain and declared, "It ends with me. It begins with me." Heaven rejoices. The angels record. The Spirit affirms. Do not fear what's next. You are sealed. You are seen. You are covered. You are not merely protected. You are anointed. The oil of your calling is not running dry. It is beginning to pour. The well of revelation will not close. It will deepen. And the heavens that opened to you in this message will remain open as long as your yes remains steady. You are chosen, not because of perfection, but because of obedience. And in your obedience, the tides have shifted. The chains have fallen. The scroll has turned. And now, your name is written among those who broke through. Now, speak this aloud. As both a blessing and a decree, I release. I rise. I remember. I forgive what was. I reclaim what's mine. I restore what must be. The cycle ends with me, and heaven rejoices over my yes. Let your voice be the trumpet. Let your spirit echo with peace. You are not who you were before this message. You are who God saw all along. You are the breaker, the restorer, the chosen, the one your lineage has waited for. Now walk forward, boldly, fully, freely. Type I receive my final seal in the comments if you feel this closing release. Blessing code 444 is now active.